Good morning. My name is David Gagnon, and I'm the chairman of the Chamber of the Board of Directors. I'd like to welcome you to our November virtual breakfast meeting, live from the venue at the Best Western Plus in Kingston. We'd like to begin, as always, with the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and good morning again. Under the heading, We're All in This Together, the Chamber of Commerce has been delighted to see the number of new businesses that have joined the Chamber since the very beginning of this pandemic. Jess Davis will be introducing to you some of them later this morning. But in the meantime, the Chamber has scheduled our first virtual new member meet and greet, where we all get to know each other better. Mark down the date and be sure to register to attend. The new member meet and greet will be held on Thursday, December 3rd, starting at 9 a.m. All Chamber members will have 2 minutes to talk about their business. Don't keep your business a secret. Referrals from other people are one of the most powerful ways to build your business. Opening doors for you and making connections and other local business leaders is what the Ulster Chamber is all about. Space is limited and reservations are required. Again, that is our virtual new member meet and greet Thursday, December 3rd at 9 a.m. You can register at ulsterchamber.org. Next month, here at the venue, December 10th virtual breakfast meeting will feature Kingston native Jimmy DeSico, who will discuss how he and his brothers created a world-class brand known as Key to Life, maker of Super Coffee, as well as Super Creamer and other positive energy products. Founded by Jimmy, Jake, and Jordan DeSico in 2015. A company now has 85 full-time employees nationwide with a valuation of more than $200 million. You're invited to find out more about this fascinating success story at our December virtual breakfast meeting. Broadcast live from the venue Uptown at the Best Western Plus. Kingston with technical assistance by Radio of Kingston. Virtual Chamber members are a great way to virtual Chamber breakfasts are a great way to stay on top of current events. Our breakfast sponsor will be Rondout Savings Bank. Again, that's December 12th, 9 a.m. Live streamed on the Chamber's Facebook page and on YouTube. Those are our events. You can always go to our Chamber website for all the latest news, information, and listing of Chamber events and our member events. Just go to ulsterchamber.org. Finally, the Chamber is doing something special in recognition of Shop Small Saturday. We're not satisfied with just one day, so we're conducting Shop Small Week in Ulster County, and we have a contest to go along with it. You or a customer could win $500 gift card from Ulster Savings Bank. This is how it works. Watch for an email from the Chamber regarding Shop Small Week. You will find a link to our logo. Print the logo and display it at your place of business. During Shop Small Week, November 28th through December 5th, we're asking everyone to visit the Chamber businesses. Take a photo of the logo and post it on Facebook. Each post will need to include the hashtag Ulster County Chamber. One person at random who promoted Shop Small Week on Facebook will win a $500 gift card from Ulster Savings Bank. So be sure to watch for that email from us or grab one of these signs at the registration desks and take part in Shop Small Week this year. And now, here for the rest of today's program, is our nonpareil president, Mr. Ward Todd.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. Dave has been an outstanding board chair for the last 2 years, and he delights every month, I know, in finding a new way to introduce me. So thank you, sir, very much for that. And I could not let this moment go by without taking a moment to thank Dave and every other veteran watching our program today. If you did not have a chance to thank a veteran yesterday, please do so today. In fact, please don't wait till next year to remember to thank veterans for all they've done, for their sacrifices for our country. And remember that many of them are struggling in their day-to-day lives. So don't just make it a one-day event. I want to thank the mayor for being our guest this morning here at the Best Western Plus, and also, again, thanks to our great sponsor, UnitedHealthcare. We would like to take a couple minutes right now, though, to recognize and to thank the many new businesses, local businesses, who've joined the Chamber of Commerce in the last few weeks. The Chamber is blessed to have an amazing membership team of Carol Ricken and Jess Davis, and we're so delighted to have Jess with us this morning to introduce some of those new members. So, Jess, come on up.
Good morning. So, I wasn't going to bring her on camera, but you can all meet Millie. She's the new mascot of the Ulster Eateries United and sort of the chamber office pet. I am so delighted. Over the next couple of minutes, I'm going to share with you about our new members who have joined over the last couple of months since we last announced. So excited about this to always grow our chamber. And so we're going to start off with Angela's Pizza and Restaurant, Balance Integration Corporation, Bannister Animal Hospital, Casa Vallarta, Cherry's Ice Cream Bar and Grill, Chris O'Connor CPA, Country Club Grill, Donna Palat, Emily's Cookie Jar, First Light, Forgione Plumbing and Heating. That's just the first slide. Then we move on to Grease Monkey, store number 1180, Green Heron Farm, Hudson Valley Mobile Dumpsters, iDesign, Island View Family Home Care, Jamar Liquors, Jerky Hut of New York, Jolly Cow, L. Morrison Associates Real Estate, Mattress by Appointment, Lolly Mattress, North River Shipping, LLC, Santa Fe Woodstock, Seasoned Delicious Foods, Star Collision and Body Shop, Stockade Maids, Tony and Nick's Italian Kitchen, Top Shelf Jewelry, Uncle B's Car Wash, Uncle B's Laundromat, Zell CPA, and Zicatella's Bar and Restaurant. All the way from Ellenville to Saugerties to Highland, we've got members joining in to be a part of the Ulster Chamber. We couldn't be more excited. We also thank all of our many, many renewing members. Thank you for allowing us to do the important work we do in our community to support our small businesses and the very many valuable organizations. Millie, say goodbye. Don't you worry, she'll be back.
Thank you, Jess and Mildred. Appreciate it for you being here. We want to give a shout out to our good friends at Radio Kingston. Thank you again for your technical support. We really appreciate it. And everyone here at the venue at the Best Western Plus in Kingston for hosting us. And prior to bringing on the mayor, we'd like to take a moment or two to thank our sponsor today. Special thanks for the sponsorship of today's breakfast to Paula Gaisley Daly, Vice President of the Empire Plan Account at UnitedHealthcare. The Empire Plan account, medical surgical coverage for 1.2 million New York State employees, has been administered out of the Kingston office since 1985. Over the years, the Kingston office has been home to other accounts, but none as large or as consistently as the Empire Plan. UnitedHealthcare is dedicated to helping people live healthier lives and making the health system work better for everyone by simplifying the healthcare experience, meeting consumer health and wellness needs, and sustaining trusted relationships with the care providers. In New York State, UnitedHealthcare offers the full spectrum of health benefit programs for individuals, employers, and Medicare and Medicaid beneficiaries, and contracts directly with more than 110,000 physicians and care professionals, along with 360 hospitals and other care facilities. Right here in our local region, the Kingston Ulster office is one of the largest UnitedHealth Group offices in New York State, with around 600 employees tied to this facility. Its employees are actively engaged in the local cities, towns, and villages throughout the region, joining in food drives, cleanups throughout the streets, health-related walks and races, and other activities. At this time, would you please welcome Mark Newman, our special guest today from UnitedHealthcare. Mark?
Thanks, Ward. We've been a part of the local community here in the Kingston area now for several decades, and as Ward indicated, we have over 600 employees at UnitedHealthcare Kingston facility. The people that work for us have jobs performing consumer services, claims processing, quality, training, clinical staff, and they are mostly from the Ulster County and the immediate surrounding areas. And as he alluded to, one of our largest customers is the Empire Plan. The Empire Plan does have over 1 million lives covered. Most of those lives that are covered are here in New York State. So on behalf of our dedicated employees at UnitedHealthcare, I want to thank you, Ward, for having us and the Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce and the many hundreds of members for the opportunity to sponsor the Chamber breakfast this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you once again to everyone at our good friends at UnitedHealthcare. The late Kingston Mayor T.R. Gallo once commented that as Kingston goes, so goes Ulster County. As the county seat and with the most infrastructure to support the residents of the entire county, Kingston truly is the engine that drives Ulster County. There's no question the challenges of 2020 have been especially hard felt right here in Kingston. And with that backdrop, the Chamber invited Kingston's mayor to talk to us today about the challenges that he faced this past year and the opportunities that we know he sees lie ahead. So please join with me now, if you would, in welcoming Kingston Mayor Steve Noble. Steve?
Thank you, Ward, and thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for inviting me today to spend a few minutes discussing everything there is going on in Kingston. But first, I want to thank UnitedHealthcare for sponsoring today's breakfast and for being so dedicated to our community. I have attended many community cleanups, work projects, and sponsorships where UnitedHealthcare employees have really stepped up to help our community. And while UnitedHealthcare is technically located in the town of Ulster, so many of your employees live in the city and are active in our community. And for that, I want to say thank you. I also want to thank the Best Western for hosting us today. This has been a really difficult time for the hospitality industry in Ulster County, but the Best Western and so many other institutions have shown that as long as you are safe, you can still be open and operate, and they're doing a great job. And I want to thank them and everyone who's really worked in this industry to be able to make it happen. And of course, to the Chamber. I have had the opportunity to attend many Chamber events during this difficult time, and it really has been great to see your staff step up to help businesses in ways that you never could have expected. And so for that, I'm grateful. So today, I want to talk a little bit about how our community is doing and where we are going in the future. And so first, I want to just thank all of our businesses. You are by far, so much a part of our community. You have stepped up in ways that you never imagined. You have supported everything from Project Resilience, which was a countywide effort to be able to make sure that all of the members of our community could be fed and do so in a dignified way, and to also make sure that we are able to support our hospitality industry and our restaurant industry during what was a very difficult time. Businesses also stepped up to be able to make sure that their employees were working in safe environments. And we have been very lucky here in Ulster County to have so many committed small businesses who took money out of their savings accounts, out of their own pockets, to be able to buy the PPE that they needed to keep their employers safe. And I think that Ulster County and our businesses here in the City of Kingston were really shining examples of what you can do when you really care about your employees. So as part of the COVID crisis, our City of Kingston employees also stepped up, and they really worked hard to be able to make sure that every member of our community was able to receive the services they needed during the last few months. And it's everything from volunteering to work on our emergency food hotline to deliver meals. But one of the big pieces that our City of Kingston played during this whole crisis was communication. Communication is so critical during this time, and thanks to the help of Radio Kingston, I've been able to give what was daily broadcasts from my office to now every Tuesday and Thursday, being able to talk directly to the community, to be able to be aired not only on Facebook, but also on Radio Kingston. And this gave me an opportunity to talk directly to the public, to give them important health information, to give them important community information, to let them know how our community services were being impacted in real time. face to face at a time when seeing people and making sure that, and having what would normally be more one-on-one interactions between, say, the mayor and the community, this gave me an opportunity to still end up at people's front doors and in their living rooms by being able to give them these updates. As an aside, my mom, whose picture you'll see behind me in all of these shots, also loves getting to actually see herself, I think, on my broadcasts, every Tuesday and Thursday. One of the things that I wanted to mention is that when we put out a call for volunteers, I had city staff in almost every single department ask, how can we help? And so in some of these pictures, you'll see that we did everything from food delivery at the YMCA to helping People's Place deliver groceries, to being able to make sure that we were prepping food at our Everett Hodge Community Center. This was, an effort that none of my employees expected that they would do, but all wanted to do and all knew that this was the right thing to do during this difficult time. And so for that, I want to say thank you. The City of Kingston has 300 employees, and every single one of those employees stepped up to help in whatever way they could during this crisis. And so when people think about essential employees, I know that every single one of my employees are essential, and I think that our community feels it too. And so with that, I want to say thank you. I even had the opportunity to get involved and to help, and I thought that this was also a really great opportunity for me to instill a sense of service in my own 9-year-old. This was an image of us actually out at the Roundout Neighborhood Center handing out masks. We handed out thousands of masks to community members. And I thought that it was good for him to be able to come out and help, and that was really positive, I think, for us and the community. And so in order to get information out, we tried to use as many different mechanisms as possible, and one of them was our website. This is a screenshot of our Kingston Recovers webpage. This is where we put information about the Paycheck Protection Program, the different loan resources that the Kingston Local Development Corporation has. This provides information about unemployment insurance, the Small Business Administration updates, and lots of other resources. And so if you haven't had a chance to check out the website, you can visit www.kingston-ny.gov/Kingston Recovers. And so check that out, and hopefully it can help you and your business learn about some of the initiatives that we have available to you here in the City of Kingston. As part of this initiative of trying to make sure that all of our residents were served here in the City of Kingston, we recently received community development block grant funds that were dedicated exclusively to coronavirus relief. And so what this funding does is it allows us to make sure that organizations and nonprofits who are meeting the utmost critical needs in our community were able to be funded during this difficult time. And so through 2 rounds of this funding, we are going to be able to give out just over $600,000. So far, we've been able to provide funds to organizations like Family of Woodstock. You'll see a picture here of our Everett Hodge Community Center, where we're helping to make sure that all of our youth at our community centers in Kingston receive a nice hot meal, but also be able to work remotely and be able to make sure that each of our students can access their our educational system here in Kingston. But we also recognize that one of the important pieces of all of this coronavirus has been the impact on folks to be able to pay their rent, to be able to make sure that they can meet the needs that their family has in terms of that housing burden, which is so growing here in Ulster County. And so we've actually set up almost $150,000 with RUPCO to be able to provide rental assistance program. That program will be rolling out this month to be able to make sure that if you've been challenged to be able to make timely rent payments or to be able to pay your rent at all, This fund is going to be able to help you here, and this is specifically for City of Kingston residents. There was and is, I think, a county program for those outside the City of Kingston, but for this, this $150,000 is going to be directed just to those that are renting in the City of Kingston. So again, this is an important opportunity for folks who are struggling, but this is also an important opportunity for our landlords who are also struggling. Many of our landlords are local and are, impacted by this pandemic as just as much as our tenants. And so this is it's a win-win for everyone. As we looked at the coronavirus pandemic, we wanted to see what are some other ways that we could help. And we knew that we had all of this public space out on the city street that generally was reserved for parking. But we also knew that we had lots of shops and restaurants that could, under the new rules from the State Liquor Authority and from the governor, could expand outside to be able to accommodate more people than the rules currently allow for indoor dining. And so we put a survey together and said to the City of Kingston residents, are you supportive of our administration opening up our public streets and sidewalks and parking spots to be able to have restaurants move outdoors? And as you can see, the overwhelming response was yes. And so we created an outdoor dining program that really helped our businesses be able to bring in some extra tables. It helped keep restaurant employees on the payroll, and it helped really provide what a beautiful dining opportunity this summer. Everyone was unique in crafting their own outdoor dining setup and really created what I think was one of the best outdoor dining seasons ever in Kingston. And as of the last few days, we had people still eating out due to the wonderful weather that we've been having. And this really was the safety net that our restaurants needed. And I'm really glad that both my administration and the public all supported being able to allow our restaurateurs to do this, and I'm glad it all worked. But moving forward, what can we expect in 2021? We know that 2020 was a difficult year. We know that we all faced challenges that we could not even have dreamed of, but we also know that 2020 is coming to an end. And we do know that in 2021, we can have a brighter path forward. And so with that, I'm excited to be able to talk about some of our goals, some of our vision, and some of the important projects that we're looking forward to working on in 2021. But in order to do that, we really needed to make sure that our finances were strong. And coming into this pandemic, we had spent the last 4 years making sure that our financial stability here in the City of Kingston was as strong as it could be. Not only did we have a really good rainy day fund built up, our fund balance, but we also have taken really appropriate approaches to the budget each and every year, which has allowed us to handle this crisis and not severely impact our ability to deliver services or impact our ability to plan for the future and to invest in important resources. And so, with that said, we were able to make sure that we were planning for a good budget for 2021. Because we know that when we look at budgeting, it is really the blueprint for all of the work that we're going to do, as well as all of the services that are provided to our residents on a daily basis. And so when we were putting together our budget, our first priority was to not increase taxes. We wanted to be able to make sure that during this difficult time that our residents didn't have the additional burden of paying more in property taxes. And so for the 6th year in a row, we have not raised taxes. And that's something that I think we all have appreciated because every little bit helps. And if our community members, our residents, our businesses are all making sure that they're uncovering every little bit that they could save, then we should do the same thing. And so we created a budget that reduced spending, that was able to continue to maintain our services, because we really wanted to make sure that even during these difficult times that our residents also weren't faced with a lack of trash pickup or a lack of paving or a lack of the vital services in the police department or the fire department. And so with that, we believe that this budget is strong, and we're really excited about what this budget allows us to do. But just looking a little bit about tax rates for just one moment, because as tax season comes up, these things are really important. And you can actually see that since 2016, even though this graph only goes to 2018, from 2016 and on, each year, these numbers continue to get smaller and smaller. And that's here in the City of Kingston, there is a homestead, which is residential, and a non-homestead, which is commercial. And for many years, our commercial tax rates have been extremely high compared to other places. And we have been making an extra effort to make sure those that are commercial taxpayers are having less and less of a burden. And you can see that with the reductions, even just going back to 2018, our commercial buildings were paying $17.39 per thousand of assessed value, and proposed for 2021, they're going to be paying $14.17. And so it's a $3 difference, and that's a good thing. And so as we go into 2021, we really need to make sure that we are supporting the needs of our current residents, things like parks, trails, green spaces, making sure that we've got the technology that we need to be able to effectively do our job, which includes new vehicles and equipment, but also making sure that we're investing in vital infrastructure, because infrastructure is the backbone of our city. If we have failing infrastructure, businesses aren't going to be able to thrive here in Kingston, and residents won't want to live here. And so that has been a huge part of the work that we have done. And you'll see in the areas that we have kind of key investments set up for 2021, it's making sure that we're investing in our essential services. These are the people, these are the services that each of our departments deliver. It's parks and trails. During the pandemic, our parks and trails got more usage than I think they ever have before, because it was the one thing that folks could do and do safely. And to the forward in 2021, we need to make sure that those parks and trails are invested in even more, because we expect that usage is going to continue to go up as more and more people are aware of how beautiful our parks are. Infrastructure is such a huge part of our needs here in the city, and you'll see that as we get into our capital projects in a little while, it is clearly first and foremost on my mind, and has been very much supported by the residents and by the city council to be able to make sure that we can get these projects done. And housing. We started off this discussion this morning talking about how difficult it's been for folks to be able to make ends meet with housing here in Kingston. And we see that in all sectors of housing. The price of homes is going up. For some, that's good. For others, that makes it difficult to be able to get your first home. Our prices on rent are going up. That is difficult for so many whose rates of pay are not going up at the same scale as their rent increases. And so with housing, one of the things that we've seen, it is a supply and demand issue. There is more demand in Kingston for housing than there is supply. And so we've got to build more housing. And you'll see that that's a priority for 2021, and it's something that we continue to work on. But first, we'll talk about our parks. This is one of our park staff who has been working to maintain Lauren Park here in Kingston. This is just one of the many community neighborhood parks that we have that serve a whole variety of needs. This park has everything from a playground to a pavilion to pickleball, which is one of the fastest growing sports and currently has literally dozens of people playing each and every day. The next thing that we need to work on is investment in natural areas. This is an image of our soon-to-be-completed Hudson River Brickyard Trail. And when we talk about trail maintenance and park maintenance, it's critical for us to be able to continue to make these investments and expand our parks and recreation holdings, and to be able to create a safe refuge for folks out in our community. But also, getting back to basics. Folks want to make sure that our city services are not only here tomorrow as they were yesterday, but also to make sure that they're better than they were yesterday. And so one of the things that we're working on is continuing to roll out a comprehensive paving management plan. Each year we pave between 13 and 15 streets, and we do it in coordination with all of the other utilities. And so we don't ever want to be in a place where we are paving a brand new street and then next year having another utility come in and rip it all up again. And so with that, it takes a lot of time and coordination, and I want to thank the staff at the Department of Public Works for their dedication to this. We just recently paved the boulevard, and so you'll see that their staff out there working. It looks great now, brand new sidewalks as well out there, but this is just one of the major areas that we need to focus on, is continuing to increase services. One of the services that our community really relies on is public safety. Everyone wants to be able to feel safe in their community. Everyone wants to be able to go for a walk in their neighborhood and know that the police department, the fire department, the building department, they're all there to help support them in keeping them safe. This week, we actually rolled out a brand new initiative where we are now having our officers on every shift, every officer out on foot. That's a way our community used to police a very long time ago, but unfortunately, due to budget cuts and other resource changes, the police department wasn't really able to dedicate that walking foot patrol. But now, starting this week, we are now instituting that. And so please, when you see our officers out going for a walk, please stop and say hi, introduce yourself. Let them know what you think of Kingston. Share any thoughts you may have about how we can improve our public safety, and really thank them for the work that they're doing. Because again, without partnerships with the fire department, the police department, and all of our departments, we can't get as much done. But when we work together, we can get a whole lot more done. And it's something that we're really looking forward to working on in 2021. When it comes to infrastructure, oftentimes we talk about these major infrastructure projects, and sometimes they take years to be able to go through the planning process, the approval process, then finally they get construction started, and then construction takes a long time. And so for some, these infrastructure projects just seem so far out, and so they don't really think about them. But I think that what we'll see as we close out 2020 and as we move into 2021, some of these long sought after infrastructure projects are actually going to be coming to completion. And you're actually going to be able to go out and walk on Broadway from the YMCA all the way to the Anchor Bar and not trip on a broken sidewalk. You'll have ADA accessible crosswalks. You'll be able to have a bench to sit on. You'll be able to have trees to get shade from. You'll be able to look at Midtown in a whole different way because of this amazing streetscape project that we're working on. This is an overhead shot of the brand new sidewalk and brickwork outside of the UPAC on Broadway. And soon in the spring, there'll be trees and grasses planted. And it's really going to make for a much nicer looking gateway to Kingston and to this beautiful heart of our city. But these infrastructure investments are there to serve everyone. And so one of the things that we're making sure that as we're building these infrastructure investments is that we're doing it for all user groups. And so as we look to designing, processing, and completing all of these, we want to be able to make sure that everyone has the tools that they need to be able to invest in their city and invest in the right way. And for us, that's all of these different capital projects. And we have a bunch. And so I just want to mention a couple today that, as I mentioned, the Broadway Streetscape project is going to be wrapping up in 2021. So not only does that include new sidewalks and that I just mentioned, but it's also going to mean new paving. Broadway will be paved during that entire stretch. There will also be light improvements You'll see all new streetlights that are going in. There'll also be improvements to the traffic signals so that you won't get every single light on Broadway anymore. But we'll also be working on other streets too. So Wilbur Avenue will be getting paved in 2021. We'll be working on Dietz Stadium upgrades. We'll be going ahead and working on improvements to Schwenk Drive and Clinton Avenue and Albany Avenue as part of our DRI transportation and improvement projects for Uptown Kingston. And so many of these projects are real and they're all happening. And yes, it does mean that we are going to need some patience because there are going to be traffic impacts as we, venture into, this world, but it's all for the good. This was actually a picture taken of a stormwater project that we were doing in Uptown Kingston. And it just goes to show how complicated this work is, but we always have to start from the ground up. Because if we're not fixing the sewers that are under the road, and we're going to have to dig up the road to fix the sewers in a few years. And so while these are big investments that we have to make, it's the right time to make investments. The City of Kingston, as we talked about before, has a really strong financial footing to be able to make these investments at very little cost in the long term and really pay much larger dividends for our community in the future. And so when we talk about some of these projects, though, we also have smaller projects that are one street projects, which could be anything from Henry Street. We're going to be working to build new sidewalks and to do some sewer work on Henry Street. We're working to do a new Elmendorf Street bridge because that bridge failed a few months ago, and so we need to get that done. We're working on beautifying our Midtown parking lots, like the parking lots near Sea Deli and other places that are used by businesses and residents who use these businesses on Broadway. And so when we think about infrastructure, we really have to think about our future, and we're investing in our future. And while, these projects, can be complicated, we try to make it as easy as possible for people to learn about these projects. And so you can actually visit our website at kingston-ny.gov, and you can actually find information about all of these infrastructure projects, what the status of the project is, who the project manager is, how much the project's going to cost, what funding we have for the projects, because we know that there's a lot, and there's a lot to cover. And so this is an opportunity for businesses to be able to just see, is there going to be infrastructure improvements in my neighborhood? And that will positively impact my business. One of the things that we want to be able to also talk about is housing. As we mentioned before, there are so many different complicated factors about housing. And we don't use these words lightly, but we are in a housing crisis. There is not enough housing for the amount of people that want to live here, and there is not enough housing in what's considered an affordable range. And because, again, our normal rate of pay for an employee can't sometimes match what folks who telecommute to, say, New York City can afford in terms of apartment rentals. And so what we need to do to solve that is to build more housing. And we've been able to work with really amazing partners like Repco, who recently just completed a great project on Cedar Street called Energy Square, the first net zero energy building in New York State dedicated to affordable housing. And now Repco has launched a whole new initiative to turn the former Alms House into 60-plus units of supportive housing. So not only is there the historic building, but there's also a brand new structure going up right next door. And that is going to be senior housing as well. And so to be able to have 60 units on this campus of new senior and supportive housing, it's critical to being able to help reverse the trend of rising rents when we have more housing stock, which again will give people more choices. And I think that that's what this is about. We want to be able to have people have more choices for housing and to be able to build housing for all income levels. And so speaking of more housing, the Kingstonian is one of the most transformative projects Uptown Kingston has had proposed, I believe, ever. This project will provide much needed housing, 143 housing units, of which 114 of those will be affordable workforce housing. This project is going to provide much needed parking for Uptown, for those businesses that are located in Uptown Kingston. Parking has been one of the most difficult issues to overcome, and one of the most important areas to be able to add capacity. And so with this project, we will do so at no cost to taxpayers. This project will also be able to make sure that we create jobs, not only the jobs related to the apartments and the hotel, but also the commercial spaces that we'll be able to open up on the first floor of this complex. But it's also going to be able to provide us a brand new park, an area for the community to gather, an area to be able to attract families, to be able to look out at a beautiful view of the Catskills, a way to be able to connect safely to the Kingston Plaza, and to be able to do so, again, at no cost to the taxpayers. And being that this is a partnership between some really great local developers, I feel really strongly that this project is what's best for Kingston, and I feel strongly that this is what Kingston has asked for, and we've been able to deliver. And so we have just a few hurdles left to be able to get through the process. Right now, that rests in the fate of the Kingston City School Board and the Ulster County Legislature. And so I would encourage folks to reach out to those bodies to express your support if the Kingstonian is something that you'd like to see happen here in Kingston. But at the same time that we're working on building market rate housing, we are also working to build affordable. So not only will there be affordable housing by agencies like RUPCO and in the Kingstonian itself, but the Kingston City Land Bank has embarked on an exciting journey to be able to create new single-family home ownership opportunities in Kingston. We just released a report about abandoned and vacant buildings that have been stuck in foreclosure for years without really any place for them to go. And the Kingston City Land Bank is going to help fill that need. We are currently looking to hire a contractor to start work on our first 3 homes, with many more to come after that. And so thanks to funding from the state and local foundations, this project is moving forward. And we're really excited to be able to focus efforts on housing here in Kingston. And this past year, in 2020, we actually hired our first director of housing. And so this office is going to continue to prioritize housing initiatives in Kingston. And we're really happy to be able to put our money where our mouth is so that we can actually get some really good progress done here. And so, how do we do all of this and not raise taxes? And that's something that, I often get asked. And it is because we have had a really great team of grant writers that work in each department in the city government and have brought in over $30 million in grants from state, federal, and private foundation sources to be able to move these projects forward. And so when you think of all of these projects, know that we're able to leverage not only the small amount of city bonding and city taxpayer dollars with a whole lot more in grant funding. And so that's how we can get all of this done and not raise taxes. But with all of those projects comes a need for a lot of project investment in communications. And so we knew that. And so a few months ago, we created a brand new website called engagekingston.com. And so this website stands alone from the City of Kingston government website, and it's designed on a platform that allows users to seamlessly interact on a whole variety of different projects. It allows users to leave comments, to have a dialogue, to mark up maps, to be able to learn more facts about projects, and to do so in a really easy-to-use web-based platform. And so I would encourage you, if you haven't checked out engagekingston.com, you should. And so we have everything on there right now, from our Re-envision Public Safety Task Force to the Broadway and Grand Street redevelopment, to our Uptown Dietz Stadium DRI project, to our Uptown transportation projects. Everything that we need community feedback on gets built out on this website, and it's really easy to use. There's some great pictures, and there's always great surveys and polls for residents to take. And so I'd encourage you to check this out. And again, this was the brainchild of our grants management team and our communications department. And so what we want most out of all of this is to be able to just engage with our residents. And during this difficult time, public meetings have had to be virtual. So this is really, I think, another tool for folks to use, being that we can't always see each other in person. So as we get to the end of this presentation, and as we get to the beginning of 2021, I think Kingston has a great outlook. We have continued ongoing recovery efforts that are happening here in the community. We are continuing to invest in vital infrastructure. We are continuing to invest in essential services and making sure that all of our departments have the people and tools that they need. We're advancing really important housing initiatives, initiative by initiative, project by project. We are making great strides in the areas of housing, and we're continuing to support our businesses. And so as we move toward 2021, I want to just say that my office is here for you. I want to say that our offices in each and every area of city government is here for you, and that you shouldn't hesitate to reach out. We know how much work businesses in our community are doing to be able to keep our community strong, and we know that this 2020 has been a difficult year. And so if there's anything that we can do to partner with you or to create an initiative together, we will and we can positively work together. And I would encourage you to reach out to also connect with us so that you stay up to date. We actually have a running email list of as many businesses as we can find in our business districts in Kingston. And so we also have a newsletter that we send every Friday to over 3,000 people. And so if you don't get our e-newsletter, this is a great opportunity for you to be able to sign up. You can sign up right on our website or on our Facebook page. You'll see the newsletter get posted every Friday. And this is just other ways that we're trying to reach out. And again, you can see me live every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. for a 10-minute update on what's happening in the city of Kingston. And you can also ask questions. We often have people reach out on Facebook that have questions about things that are happening here in our community, or questions about how we should be dealing with governors, new regulations about, for instance, the new regulations that just were released stating that those establishments that have liquor licenses starting on Friday now need to close at 10 p.m. And those that are planning indoor parties at their houses are now limited to 10 people. Those are the kinds of questions that we get and that we can then provide answers to, more directly. And so with that, it has truly been an honor to be able to serve you as our mayor this year. It has been one of the most difficult times for local elected officials to be able to manage both the health crisis and the financial crisis that it created. But it also just redoubles our efforts to be able to continue to serve our residents here in the city of Kingston and beyond. And so with that, Ward, I want to thank you and the Chamber for allowing us to be with you today and for letting us be a part. And I really do miss getting to come for our breakfast. It really is something that I've looked forward to and that I've, missed. So thank you, Ward.
Thank you, Mayor Noble. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for your leadership. This colonial city of ours, this first capital of New York State, looks great and obviously has been in the news so much lately. We're delighted to see so many people coming to our region for the first time and bringing us their new eyes and their new perspective. And so congratulations to you, Mayor, and we look forward to a wonderful future for this great city and this great region. Also want to thank UnitedHealthcare. Mark Newman, thank you very much for being with us and being our sponsor. UnitedHealthcare is a great partner of the Chambers. So we are back here at the Chamber breakfast meeting next month. We're going to have some special guests today. I'm sorry, next month that is. The CEO of Super Coffee, and this is the brand right here. Jimmy DeSico and his two brothers from Kingston, New York, decided to put together a great company 5 years ago. It's grown to just an amazing success story today. And you're going to find out, among other things, how the fact that they did not make a deal on Shark Tank actually was good news for them. And so they're going to be our special guests. And Kel Capishilin, this is for you. I know you're a Super Coffee fan. So they're our guests next month right here. I know everybody else wanted it, right? I have more. I have more. I also want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Roundup Savings Bank, next month for being our sponsor for that breakfast meeting. And I want to thank our corporate sponsors. We thank them sincerely for their commitment to the Ulster Chamber. Thanks to them, we can continue our critical work on behalf of the small local businesses right here in Ulster County. Please support these corporate sponsors that support your Chamber of Commerce. Again, thanks for the technical support today from Radio Kingston. Kale, Jimmy, Daniel, Perla, thanks for all you do. And we always do try to end on a positive note. Dave Gagnon must have left this here for me. I believe it's a personalized golfing hat with my initials on them, apparently, because the Masters starts today. For those of you who are looking for a diversion, is that what it's supposed to be? No? This is not? Oh, this is Tiger Woods. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm a Tiger Woods fan also. So the Masters, positive news, little diversion, nothing better than going to your favorite local eatery, getting a takeout meal, and enjoy a relaxing time with family and friends this weekend and de-stress a little bit and watch some great golf. That is our program for today. We thank you so much for joining us. From everyone here at the Ulster Chamber, thanks for being with us. Until next month, be well and stay safe. Thank you.